Peter Zalmayev, Director of the Eurasia Democracy Initiative. He joins us now from Kiev. Good to have you back on the programme, Peter. Firstly, we heard there Russia's military drills with Belarus are now underway, with some 30,000 troops expected to take part on these exercises on Ukraine's doorstep to the country's north. This comes as the Pentagon said that Russia was continuing to send more troops along other parts of its border with Ukraine. Is this more posturing that we're seeing from Moscow, or is this perhaps another step towards a possible invasion of Ukraine?
Well, I mean, the very idea, I mean, that Vladimir Putin is, using all of the means at his disposal in order to present a credible threat. Obviously, he does not want the West to believe that he's just bluffing, because then his bluff will have been called, and his options will be lessened. He's definitely trying to wring out a maximum of concessions from the West, and so he is making a credible threat in the fog of war. Anything is possible, and this calculation can lead to hostilities. The U.S. has accused of Russia, planning false flag operations, limited actions, military actions in Donbass, cyber attacks short of a military invasion. But any of those can lead to a full-blown hostility. So there's just we're still mired in this guessing game. When it comes to Putin's intentions, I think the bottom line for him remains: he wants ironclad guarantees the influence. And if that is something that Macron can promise him and then get Biden to agree, I mean, he's fine with that. But, he's also made clear that Biden is pretty much the only true negotiating partner that he considers worthy of his statue. Macron, Liz Truss, the British Foreign Secretary, visiting Moscow today, I mean, he's made clear they're not his equals.
Yeah, so let's talk about Macron's efforts, because he's spearheaded the diplomatic effort to defuse this crisis in recent days. Macron says that he believes Putin did assure him that Russia has no intention to invade, and that Putin is in fact interested in a diplomatic outcome. Yet we are seeing these massive troop movements along Ukraine's border continuing. Do you believe that Vladimir Putin is genuinely interested in finding a peaceful resolution to this crisis?
He paradoxically, as ironic as it sounds, he might, despite all this posturing, despite the increase in troops, despite adding Belarus as another, hostile factor for Ukraine. Belarus up till now has been neutral, and all of a sudden they're talking about constitutional changes in Belarus to allow for Russian nuclear weapons. This is something quite new. Vladimir Putin, I think, is ultimately a rational player. I mean, what he did in 2014, something very few people expected, led to economic circumstances, but they were kind of limited, and they allowed him stay in power. It will be if he and his coterie, his folks need to continue staying in power. He does not want to jeopardize that. A full country invasion of Ukraine will probably be very problematic for him economically, militarily, and politically. He will do everything to continue, to try to push the West, to divide the West, but he will stop short of making it so that the West is united against him and punishes him with sanctions that could cripple Russia's economy.
Okay, Peter Zalmayev from the Eurasia Democracy Initiative. Really good to get your analysis as always. Thank you for that.